When it comes to quitting alcohol, why don't people simply click their fingers and stop drinking it? Why does it still take so many lives every single year? Why does it destroy so many people's confidence? And why do people continue doing it? Well, it's because these people hold on to certain ideas and certain beliefs that do absolutely nothing at all to serve them. So in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down 5 things that you absolutely must give up if you want that great life of freedom without alcohol. If you miss any of these 5 things, your journey is going to be way more difficult. So please do make sure to watch all 5 of these things, and if there's one piece of advice, do actually make sure to act on this advice, because it can change your life forever and it can make your journey so much simpler. Let's get into it. Just before we get into the video, if you want to get access to the free video training showing you how to control your drinking without AA or willpower, click the link in the description. I'll be showing you how to use the mental model called First Principles Thinking to get control of your drinking. I'll be talking about the 5 critical mistakes that 90% of drinkers make, and I'll also be sharing the 2 phases of becoming sober clear. You do not want to miss that training video. It will change your mindset around drinking forever so you can start getting your health, career, confidence, and relationships back on track. Click the link in the description for instant access. Now, the very first thing that you need to give up is an idea, and it's the idea that people who have 1 or 2 drinks are something to admire. For many years, I used to look at people that had 1 or 2 drinks, and I used to put them on a pedestal. I used to think that they had a lot more willpower than me, they had a lot more self-control than me, and they just had everything together. Now, you need to let go of the idea that drinking any amount of poison is normal. Worse, admirable, because it isn't. There's nothing good about drinking a small amount of poison because it does nothing for you in the first place, not even a little bit. And these people that have 1 or 2 drinks and seem to have their life together, all they're doing is falling for a giant illusion. They're falling for an illusion that alcohol is actually a good thing. It's really not. It doesn't do anything to serve you. It never has, it never can, and it never will. So please do let go of the idea that the normal drinker that has 1 or 2 drinks is something to admire, because they're not. The only reason why people drink any amount of alcohol is to feel like a non-drinker feels all of the time. You're not jealous or you're not envious of somebody that has 1 or 2 shots of heroin a week, or somebody that smokes 1 or 2 crack pipes a week. You're probably not jealous of those people because you see them as drug addicts. Even if they only have a little bit, you clearly see that they've got a problem with something. Why would they want to do any amount of that? And the sad thing is a lot of these people that do have 1 or 2 drinks, their behaviors don't typically go down. As time goes on, as stressful occasions increase, as life happens to them, drinking for these people can often go upwards. So just bear that in mind when you look at people that have 1 or 2 drinks and admire them. Feel sorry for them. Now, the second thing that you really want to give up is the idea of being an alcoholic. Now, I know that that is a very controversial statement, and I know that there are people that watch this channel that actually call themselves alcoholics. They go to AA, they're happy about their decision to be a non-drinker, they give themselves up to God. And in fact, my own mother has done the same thing, and she's been to AA for 20 years. System worked for her. She's happy, she's good. And if that's you, then just skip this point and go to point 3. But if it's not you, then I would really urge you to give this idea up that you are the problem. It's the only drug on the planet that you've got to give yourself a label if you can't drink a normal amount of poison. If you give up heroin, you're not a heroinaholic for the rest of your life. You give up social media, you're not a social mediaholic for the rest of your life. You give up alcohol, you are an alcoholic for the rest of your life, which doesn't really make any sense. Now, the real problem is this underlying collective belief in society that alcohol is a good thing. And because so many millions of people do choose to buy into this illusion, that's why we like to give people that can't control it a label. Kind of makes us feel okay. You know, the people that drink a bottle of wine a night, well, it's not like I drink 2 bottles of wine a night. It's not like I'm an alcoholic. Then the people that drink 2 bottles of wine a night, well, it's not like I wake up in the morning and drink. It's not like I'm an alcoholic. You see what I mean? It's kind of just like this thing that we keep pushing away. Well, I'm not as bad as them, I'm not an alcoholic. And then the people that choose to call themselves alcoholics, the problem is now they are the problem. And if you're the problem, you can't be fixed. Now, I did call myself an alcoholic. I called myself an alcoholic for about 100 days. Yet when I removed alcohol, life started going well again. So I don't buy into this idea anymore. And, you know, I'd really start questioning that yourself as well. It's a made-up term, it's not a medical diagnosis. The correct term is alcohol use disorder. And if you actually want to learn more about that, click the link up here for 11 signs of a drinking problem. Just a precursor, I said yes to every single one of those things. But if you want to learn a bit more about alcohol use disorder, click up here. Now, the third thing that you need to give up is the idea that alcohol does something good for you in your life. It is a drug, it is a poison, it is ethanol. It is not meant for human consumption. In fact, if you look at the warning sign on ethanol, it is not meant for human consumption. There is no difference between ethanol and alcohol, right? But they just put a small amount of ethanol in. How can a small amount of a dangerously poisonous substance be beneficial in any way? Shock horror, it cannot be beneficial, it is not beneficial, and it will never be beneficial. So you need to get over this idea that alcohol has a benefit to it. There is no benefit to alcohol. What alcohol will do is it's going to destroy your health, it's going to destroy your courage, it's going to destroy your self-esteem, it's going to destroy your confidence, and if you're anything like me, it's going to pretty much destroy your whole damn life. So get over this idea that alcohol is a good thing. It does nothing for you, and it can't. It's a drug. So you've got to let go of this if you want that freedom. Let go of the idea that alcohol is a good thing. Do you know what is a good thing? Exercise, relationships, business, careers, contributing, mission, spirituality, productivity. These are good things. These are good things to go towards. Alcohol ain't. It's that simple. Now, the fourth thing that you'll definitely want to give up if you're trying to stop drinking is the idea that one drink has a benefit to it. A lot of people that stop drinking, they typically stop for a period of time, and it might be a few weeks, it might be a few months, it may even be a couple of years. And what can happen is they can get to a point where they start to see a benefit of having just one drink. Now, the thing is alcohol is a drug. It's one of the most addictive drugs on the planet, and there is not a benefit to consuming ethanol. So you really need to understand that there isn't a benefit to one drink, and what usually happens when people have one drink. Well, I'll tell you from my own experience. I stopped drinking for 9 months with willpower. I had just one drink at a New Year's Eve party, then continued to get drunk. And I'm not gonna lie, things, they stayed under control for a number of months. It wasn't like everything crumbled away. Yet 9 months later, I dismantled absolutely everything. And the reason why is because I thought there was a benefit to drinking one drink. Listen, it's impossible for ethanol to give you any benefit at all. There is no benefit to consuming it. So you've really got to reframe the way that you view it. You've got to see it as a drug, you've got to see it as a poison, and you've got to see it as something that you would not put into your body no matter what. The same way that you'd not want to drink the water from a swimming pool or drink bleach, you do not want to put that alcohol in your body. And it's why I often say on the channel that willpower is an incredibly ineffective approach to stop drinking. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm not saying that it doesn't work in the short term. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for people in the long term. But willpower is exerting your will to control an impulse. If you see that there's a benefit to consuming one drink, then you just need to exert your will over the drug. Long term, there are days where the willpower doesn't run out, and if you've not changed the way you view alcohol to see it as something that doesn't have a benefit to it, what do you think will happen when the willpower is low? Well, I know from my experience what happened, and I ended up drinking. But what helped was to change my views forever. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm done. It is finished. Which leads me to the fifth point, and it's to give up another idea. Now, this is going to sound controversial, but it's to give up the idea of stopping drinking being a challenge. Now, listen, when I made Sober Clear, I had a choice, right? I had a choice to make my program a challenge, right? This is a stop drinking challenge. And I know that there are programs out there that kind of talk about the challenge of not drinking. It's all about a challenge. It's all about this difficult thing that we're overcoming. Now, if I went and did that, yeah, do you know what? Maybe my business would have grown a little bit quicker. But it's not the long-term solution, because if I'm saying to people that there's a challenge here to stop drinking, all I'm really doing is promoting the idea that it's actually difficult to give up in the first place, which it ain't. There is no challenge. I'm not saying that these challenges are necessarily bad things. There are plenty of people that will see that, they'll try it, they'll get a taste for sobriety, and they'll continue. There are plenty of people that do that. But at the same time, don't frame stopping drinking as a challenge. It's simply a decision that you make, and it's an exchange. You exchange a drug that did nothing for you for a lifetime of freedom, for a lifetime of happiness, for a lifetime of confidence, for a lifetime of courage. It's an exchange. It's not a challenge. It's not difficult to stop drinking. We're just told that it is. Stopping drinking wasn't difficult for me. It was simply a decision, and it was the best decision that I ever made in my life, bar none. It's changed my life in every single way. Anyway, guys, do make sure to give up these 5 things. Have a great day.